in Genesis chapter 3, in the first book of this book called the Bible, we find Adam and Eve, the first created human beings, at a loss. They have been exiled from their garden home because of their own choices. They have recognized that they are ashamed. They have nowhere to turn and no hope for the future. Death has entered into the world, and the situation is dark. But then God shows up. And God shows up with a specific promise, one that begins a theme that can be traced throughout this whole scripture. It's the theme of the seed. God shows up and he curses the serpent. The serpent is the animal which has deceived Adam and Eve. And God says to the serpent, you're going to crawl on your belly, you're going to eat dust. And that's somewhat in the background to the next promise which God gives to the serpent. He says to the serpent, I am going to put enmity, you and the seed of the woman, or the offspring of the woman, human beings, are going to be at war. You are going to fight against them. They are going to fight against you. But then he says something very important. One is going to come, who is called here the seed. He, God says, will crush the serpent's head. He will put an end to the battle that is going on between the offspring of Adam, humanity, and this kingdom of the serpent. And in the process, this seed would come, crush the head of the serpent, and the serpent would bruise his heel. This promise is given again several thousand years later to a biblical figure named Abraham. God says that through Abraham and through his seed, all the nations of the earth would be blessed. He says in Genesis chapter 2 that his seed, Abraham's seed, would possess the gate of his adversary. This theme builds as it goes through Scripture. This battle between the serpent and the offspring of humanity, between good and between evil, between life and death. Always keeping at its center that one was coming, a seed, who would put an end to the battle, who would make things right. Jesus shows up at the beginning of the New Testament as that seed. He fulfills all of the promises that were made of that seed. He stomps on the serpent and himself suffers injury. Jesus is the seed of which this whole theme has been driving towards. He's the point of the Scriptures.